Okay, so here we have the F100 Interceptor. I'm just going to go ahead and take you around each part of the truck, try and explain some of the things that were done, maybe answer some questions for people that were looking to do the same sort of a swap. So let's get started. Okay, first off, we'll start up here at the front of the truck. As you'll see, there's quite a bit of clearance here between the tire and the fender. A lot of people have said that using a Crown Vic front suspension is going to be way too wide. Yes, you are limited to the high offset Crown Vic wheels, or kind of like a front wheel drive style wheel. But as long as you are using those, there is plenty of room up there. Next, we move up here to the side step. As you can see, there's been a replacement piece there. The frame on the Crown Vic is quite a bit wider than the stock Ford F100 frame, so we had to notch that out, and that's the replacement step. Eventually it's going to be probably done in some bed liner, but for right now you can see that was the replacement piece. Next up, we have the front of the bed. Now, due to the difference in wheelbase lengths here, the Crown Vic's a little shorter than the long bed F100. We had to take 3.5 inches out of the front of the bed there, and that made the wheelbase difference up and allowed us to line up the rear fenders with the rear wheels, as you'll see here. Another thing you'll notice here is around the fender, there's some pie cuts there. The Crown Vic has quite a wide track in the back. It's a lot more of an issue in the back than it is in the front. In order to accommodate that and not have tire rubbing, these fenders had to be pulled out pretty close to an inch on either side. You can barely get a finger in there. Not a lot of space, but there is a lip inside if I needed to have more space for a different wheel selection. I have a little bit of play there. I can roll that inner lip or cut some of it out. Not much. Pretty much stuck with these type of wheels, or Mustang wheels would work as well. Unless I want to go with a 2002 or earlier Crown Vic rear end, which is a possibility and would be quite a bit narrower, then that would give me a lot more wheel options in the back. And moving to the rear of the bed, as I said before, this was a long bed, so taking 3.5 inches out of the front made it very, very strange looking. A lot of length in the rear and none in the front. Plus, it was just really long, so we went and took 8.5 inches out of the rear here. So that's a total reduction of 1 foot. Long bed stock is 8 feet long. Short bed is 6.5 feet long. What I have here is a 7-foot bed, so nearly a short bed. Personally, I think the proportions work better with 7 feet than they do with the 6.5 or the 8 foot. I think it's got a real good look to it. I'll back up a little bit here for you. I would say that's really the way it should have come from the factory, in my opinion. Onto the inside of the bed. As you can see, quite a bit was taken out there to allow for the Crown Vic rear end and gas tank setup. Probably took out a little more than needed to be, but I do intend to replace the top part, at least, of the inner fender wells there, and then there'll be a kind of a step bed built up in between there, so it'll still be able to hold quite a bit. Not really losing that much space from that. I'd say I'm probably losing more space from shortening the bed than anything else, but it'll still have quite a bit of space, and I intend for it to be able to tow as well, so it'll still get some truck use. And here's our rear lighting. I just used a trimmed down version of the Crown Vic wiring harness, and I wired that right up to the F100 lights. That was not so bad. Everything works good, so there you go. And here's the column, gauge cluster, pedals. All three of these are from the Crown Vic. Took quite a bit of modification to get them all to work in there. Not really excited about the gauge cluster, but everything works. It's functional for now. Try and get something a little more retro looking in the future. do have a check engine light that has to do with the fuel tank level sending unit. For some reason it's stuck at halfway. I'm pretty sure the Crown Vic was that way. Didn't drive it around enough to really notice, but I do recall it was always at half a tank. For a little bit I did drive it, so that's something that's just going to have to be addressed here. And last but not least, the engine bay. So I'll try and give you a look at everything in there. Stock air box was a little too big to fit in here. Kind of made my own cone filter setup. See, we did retain the Crown Vic booster, ABS, everything works there. We got the Crown Vic wiper motor, so that can have all the functions with the wipers that the Crown Vic had. Let's see, there's our engine bay relay battery box. Let me get you a different view here. And there's the battery, where it is Frenched into the inner fender. And you can see the Crown Vic radiator down there, overflow reservoirs, everything just down and below the stock F100 core support. And here's the exhaust sound from behind the truck. Not real loud. I think I got maybe the catalytic converters are plugged up, but they're going to get pulled out of there anyway, so I'll update with another video if that helps at all. And let me give you a little engine rev. It's real cold, that's steam, not smoke. And there you have it, my F100 Interceptor. If you haven't checked it out, f100interceptor.blogspot.com. That'll have a lot more details, pictures if you're interested. Feel free to comment on any of the posts, and I will answer questions if I can. Thanks for checking it out.